In my opinion, the title is spot on. FIFA 16 is now the career mode game that everyone has wanted for years. It has 136 new leagues, that's right, 136, 64 new national teams, updated squads to be 2025, every team in the game is licensed, every boot has been updated, and there has been 9 years of continuous gameplay improvements when you're actually playing the matches. So let's have a look at what could be the best career mode game of all time. So the first thing we have to talk about is the amount of leagues. This is done in a slightly different way. There are 5 league packs you can choose to start your save in, and they're split into different regions: Northwest, Northeast, Southwest and Southeast of Europe, and a rest of the world pack. It gives more detail to certain leagues while not also slowing down career mode. So I've got the Northwest leagues loaded here, so let's have a look at what is included. Well, first of all, you'll see that the Premier League, as you're looking at right now, is fully up to date. Ipswich are in there, Forest are in there, Southampton are in there. But if we go down past League 2, we spot the National League. This is the first league that we actually will spot has been added. Unlike on FIFA 23 and FC 24, where the National League has been modded into the game, this is the entire league. All 24 of the teams from the National League are now in the game. That is absolutely crazy, and something that I personally can't believe has been achieved. But that is only half of it. As we scroll through the leagues, you'll see that in France, the National League has been added, which has all of the teams from the 3rd division in France. If we go to Germany, the same thing's been added here, the 2 4th divisions, which isn't the full divisions, but still has most of the most interesting teams that you might want to play inside career mode. And it's not just the really big nations that have been changed. If we look at Italy next, they have a 3rd division, but it isn't in this league pack, so we only have Serie A and Serie B. But this is the level of detail in this mod. There's now the Luxembourg League in here. That's right, you have 3rd divisions, 4th divisions for the big nations, but you also have 1st divisions for some of the smallest nations in Europe. In other mod packs, you can see San Marino, you can see Gibraltar, you can see Andorra, such small leagues that really shouldn't be that expensive if EA ever wanted to actually add them into career mode. Further out, you have leagues like Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, all updated to be 2025 ready, but I think Scotland's the most interesting. We have the Premiership, we have the Championship, which is already impressive, but then we also have the Scottish League 1. And beyond that, the Scottish League 2, because there's 4 divisions in Scotland now. These teams are truly awful. I mean, compare them to League 1, League 2 teams in England, and they're about 10 overall lower in every single position. But all of these players are real, and all of their formations have been updated to be accurate to this season. Surely you can see how impressive this is, and as someone who lives in North Wales, I think the Welsh League is my favourite. The JD Cymru Premier has been added into the game. So I personally live quite close to Bala in North Wales, and I have seen them play, and I can agree that they should not be rated any higher than 50 overall. But all of these teams, even the smallest ones, Cardiff Met University, which is just literally a university in Wales, are in the game. 2nd divisions in Belgium in the game. This is the amount of detail that career mode deserves, and honestly, it's not far away from the amount of detail that Football Manager has. But like I said, there are many different league packs, and this is how easy it is to switch between them. They've created their own little add-on right here, the version manager, and you can see in the drop downs all of the leagues and all of the nations that change when you switch between them. For example, this rest of the world one adds Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, Costa Rica, South Africa, some leagues that people have requested for years, but I'm more interested in the Southeast one. This is going to have leagues that are focused in the southeast of the UEFA region. So in Europe, you'll have places like Cyprus, you'll have Albania, you'll have North Macedonia. They'll all be in the game, and all you have to do is change that one drop down. So, just to make it clear that all of this also works in career mode, we're going to start a new save as a random team. But let's first have a look at some of the leagues that got added. Hungary should just be in FIFA these days. I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't be. Moldova, I think, has been in one of them in the past, but even the 3rd division of Romania. You've already got the 1st division in there. Why not add 2nd and 3rd for some of these tiny leagues? Surely it can't be that expensive for EA to buy the licenses. But anyway, this is what it would look like if they did. For example, in Cyprus, that's a pretty decent league. It could easily be added. Look at the ratings here. They're equivalent to League 1, and they go straight into the European competitions. But we're actually going to be looking at Greece. This is a league I really like. I've been to see a team in the 2nd division play quite a few times when I've been on holiday, and that team is Diagoras, based in Rhodes. I was there just a couple of months ago. If you've checked my Instagram, you'll know that. And we'll just see how that looks inside career mode. So everything that you've seen so far is fully integrated. So the first thing that we'll probably see is the pre-season tournaments. All of the new teams are eligible to go into here. So you'll see some teams there from Scandinavia. I think you'll see some teams from Romania in the one that we just joined as well. And everything works. If you get promotion in this league, you go up to the top division of Greece. I mean, I think some of these players are probably fake. There's a couple of real ones in there too, but a lot of them do seem generated, which is a little bit of a shame. But I do appreciate that some of these teams are never going to be touched, so there's not as much point putting effort into Geografifa as there is a team like Yeovil Town in the National League. But as I've said several times, there's no reason that EA couldn't go into this level of detail other than the fact that they think no one would use them. But this mod proves that people would, because I've had a look at so many teams in all of the different versions of this mod, and believe me, there are some really cool stories that become playable once you use this mod. For example, the Swiss second division is included in one of the Central European ones, and that lets you play as Vaduz, a team from Liechtenstein, and they have actually been in FIFA in the past, but because they got relegated, that means there's no teams from Liechtenstein. You can do so many cool challenges, and Liechtenstein is actually a region you can scout these days. But anyway, one of the things I said at the start of the video is that gameplay has been updated. FIFA 16 gameplay is kind of notorious for not being the best, but with 9 years to improve it, I'm kind of expecting this to be pretty fun. At the very least, I'm expecting it to be better than FIFA 16 gameplay was to start off with, and if you do prefer older FIFA gameplay, this exact same mod is available on FIFA 14 as well, but in my opinion, FIFA 16 is just so much more modern and so much better than FIFA 14. So just from passing it around at the back here, you can tell that this feels a lot nicer than how it used to. The AI no longer just charges at you, so there is some improvements done on the AI, but one of the coolest things is something that's not even happening on the pitch. If you look at the crowd, you can see that the stadium is not full. So if you're playing in San Marino, this will also be the case. If you're playing in England, the Premier League stadiums will all be full, but dynamic attendance is something that EA's had as a back-end feature, but never really used too much going forwards. This means that lower league matches are always sellouts, which really they shouldn't be unless you're really successful. And I think that's, again, one of those little tiny features that this mod adds that just really improves career mode. While we're looking at some gameplay, why don't we have a look at some of the other features that are improved on this game? So they have all generic team names, tournament names, logos and kits replaced by real ones. That's including goalkeeper kits and stuff like that. They've got real kit numbers for most teams, realistic crowd sizes, which we've just seen, new ad boards, new boots, new balls if you're really interested in that kind of thing. Simplified main menu, which has got rid of some of the Ultimates team stuff, which is of course all gone offline a long time ago, and they've also got some new tournaments. So if we stay on the same mod pack, we can have a look at some of the leagues that are included here. We've got the Superliga, we've got 3 divisions in Poland, for example, which is absolutely amazing. Portugal has a couple, Romania's got another 3 divisions. Like, the depth to some of these smaller nations is truly absolutely immense. But one of my favourite things is actually when you go into custom tournaments. So we can now do a full World Cup and a full knockout round before it. So the qualifiers are fully in the game. If we go over into the men's international section, you can see the sheer amount of teams that are included here. There are some that were already in the game. I think Belgium was in there, and maybe Bolivia was back on FIFA 16, but Bulgaria, I don't think has ever been in a FIFA game. There's a ton of other teams that maybe aren't so good, but have a lot of players in the game, like Georgia right there, if you want to use Kvaratskhelia. You've got Iceland, India, Ireland, Iran, Italy. There's so many teams, and that also helps improve career mode because it makes national team management fun, and that adds a totally new aspect to the game that isn't normally there. Now, of course, FIFA 16 does have its flaws. They haven't got as many scouting nations for your youth academy as it stands at the minute. The player faces look kind of bad as well. But if you're interested in just playing as a manager rather than becoming an academy director or playing a lot of matches on the pitch, I think that this is probably the perfect career mode for you. In fact, I really enjoy it. I might stream this in the next couple of weeks, so if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel. But I really do appreciate you watching me talk for this long about a mod that you might not even have access to. But if you can find a cheap FIFA 16 game key, or you already own it on PC, then this mod is free and it can totally revamp career mode for you on one of the most beloved FIFA games as well. You've got old features like the old binder right here, and that's just a bit nostalgic to see. But thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.